Hello everyone and welcome to another addition to my mini map. This will be part 2. So I'm going to show you real quick where we left off at in the last video. So as you can see from the last video, this is a mini map we just got done creating. And you can kind of see the issues. The map just rotates anytime doing anything. So we will fix that in this video, and then as well as we will make a icon for our character. So let's go ahead and do that. So first of all, there is a website that I used for this image that I'm about to pull into here. But once you download an image and use it, first the website's called icons8.com, and I picked an arrow from that website to use. And now I just pulled it into my project from my images. You just pull it from your downloads and then you drag it in, right? So that's what this is. Okay, so you click on it, and then it's Control S to save. Double left click on your thing, and there's your image. Okay, so you can kind of see that you can adjust the things on it for color, but that's not really what you want. So you're going to go back to your third person map, and now from here you are going to right click on there, and at the top of this sub menu you want to create a material. That's the very first option at the top, and this you're going to call M for material arrow. So that's the icon I use, and depending on what you want to use for your project will depend on what this is specifically that you want to use it for. There will be different icons for different things in different games. Okay, so I'm choosing an arrow for my character, so I'll double click on this. So now the next thing is, first of all, instead of a sphere where you can't really see what we're trying to look for, then you want to use a plane. And as you can see, there's different things here: cylinder, sphere, plane, cube. So we're going to use a plane, all right, as you can kind of see. All right, now the next thing is, first we're going to break this thing off. So we're going to do Alt and left click, and that is no longer needed, so we'll delete it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your third person map, and you're going to bring your icon that you just brought over, which is this right here. You're bringing it into your material and you'll drop it in just like so. And then usually you would bring it from RGB over to base color, but as you can see, it doesn't do anything really at all, so you won't be needing that right now. So you click on the M arrow thing here. As you can see, opacity mask and opacity is out at the moment. How you fix that is you come over here in material, and instead of blend mode opaque, and then you can switch it to masked. There's a bunch of different options: translucent, additive, modulate, alpha composite, alpha holdout, but in this case we need the masked, so that's what we're going to choose. And as you can see, the opacity mask is now open. So you'll take it from the alpha pin here, and you bring it over to the opacity mask, and looky here, you got an icon. Now you can drag this down just like so, and the next thing you'll do is from their base color, so that way you can choose what you want it to look like. You'll drag off and you'll put vector, not a vector, a vector, and then it's a constant 3 vector. All right, so 3 different things, you know, for your red, green, and blue. See, that's why you need 3. All right, well, I don't know if you can see this, but it's red, green, and blue, so obviously that's why it's 3. Okay, so then you can kind of choose. Do you want it to be pink? Then you hit OK. Hold on. I don't know why it didn't change. Give me a second. Alright, so say you wanted it pink, then you can do that. Say you wanted it red, then you can do that. Say you wanted it blue, like what I want, then you can change it to blue. Alright, so now I'm just hitting OK on my thing. So now I got a blue icon, right? So drag this over a little bit, and as you can kind of see, it changed the numbers a little bit on your constant 3 vector. You're going to hit apply up here and make sure it applies to your arrow, and then you're going to hit save. So this is what your arrow is going to look like instead of black now. Okay, it's not going to look like that, it's going to look like this. Alright, so the next step from here is you're going to come over here to your viewport. You see that you got your camera still, right? The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, give me just a second, I'm thinking. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to come to components, and just at the add button right here, you're going to want to add in a plane, like an airplane without the air. And once you type in plane, it comes up with a plane and then a plane fall off. The plane is a basic shape, and the field is plane fall off. You don't want the plane fall off, you just want the basic shape plane. So you'll see that now it is on your character, right? Okay, cool. So the next thing you can do is you bring it up here towards your camera. And what you'll do with that now is you'll come over here to your menu, your details panel, and as you can see, the static mesh is this plane right here, right? But it isn't what we want. So if I was to compile right now and save, then you'll see it is only just a big box. What am I going to do with a big box, right? You know, I mean, it's in there. That's cool. But that isn't what you want. So you're going to come back over. Well, no, wrong thing. You're going to come over here to your third person again. And then under materials here, instead of the basic shape material, you just created this material in here. So on this now, you're going to click on the basic shape material. Your M arrow, which is what you just created, will pop up. You click that, and oh, there is your arrow. Okay, so now you can rotate your arrow to match where you want it to go. And I'm going to show you what I mean by want it to go. You see that it's going the same direction your player is now. So we hit compile and save once again. Alright, and then if we hit play, as you can see, you got a big arrow in there now. Okay, cool. So you got your arrow. That's a start. But there's still a few more issues, and that few more issues is your camera rotation there that you need fixed, and a little bit of a problem with your size of your arrow. So let's go back and fix that. Alright, so the arrow isn't necessarily the problem, it's your scene component. So instead of perspective, what you want to do is you want to bring it back over to orthographic. Whoop, you want to bring it to orthographic. So there's only two options in projection type, perspective and orthographic. Now, if you say you put this at 500, right, you are going to see another problem here in just a second. I mean, obviously it fixed the arrow problem, but the other problem is look underneath. You can still see your skeletal mesh, which obviously you don't want to see. And that's kind of a problem a little bit. So, okay, let's fix that problem. So, the first thing you'll do is you'll come down here, a little bit past your texture target from the last video we did. And down here in the general show flags, you can be able to adjust some things, and the skeletal mesh being underneath is a checkbox, so we just uncheck it, go to compile, and then save it. Now we start again, and you just got your arrow now, no problem, no skeletal mesh underneath. But of course we still got that camera issue. So first of all, it's a little too zoomed in, so let's fix that. You can zoom out on your ortho width and bring it, just double it, bring it to 1000, and that should then fix that problem. Okay, so we'll go back over here, and now you can kind of see, cool, now you can see more of the map and see where you're going. And again, the camera thing flopping like that on us, you don't want that. So we're going to go back and fix that as well. But the at least it sees more of the map now. So let's fix the next problem, and that'll wrap up this video. Okay, so the next thing is you want to add a spring arm. So in your components section right here, on your third-person character blueprint, or if it's first person, then you'll do that. Okay, then you'll want to look up a spring arm. All right, and it's only it says it's a camera, so spring arm. So let's go ahead and add that in, and then we'll add the scene capture component. Well, not necessarily. Okay, spring arm. Now, as you can kind of see, the invert pitch, the invert yaw, and the invert roll are all checked. So let's uncheck all those. All right. And then once you hit compile and save, your next thing is, oh, well, that didn't fix it. Thought it would. Give me just a second here while I figure out what I did wrong. Okay. Oh, okay. So scene capture. The reason why I couldn't attach it is because it was a child of this scene capture. So, okay, spring arm. We can now do that. I can bring it back over here. Back over my character. And how did I? Oh, spring arm now. Okay. And as you can see, there. And this camera is now part of that spring arm. I just fixed that problem. So that's what it was. I just had it backwards. Okay, so now this is fixed. When I come back in here now, when I hit forward, I go forward. When I go backwards, I go backwards. But the camera does not flip and flop all over the place. As you can see, everything runs smooth now. You can see where you're at on the map with no issues. Alright, well, so that'll pretty much wrap up this video. And if you have any other things that you like added, we can definitely go through that later. But for now, that is how you add an arrow to your character. And eventually, if I wanted to, I could add little icons, these other different things, like your block here in the middle, or this sphere looking area over here, or different things in your map you can add icons to, or things like that. But in this one, I just wanted to show you how you would make your character icon and have that mini map working better. So I hope you all enjoyed this, and again, this is a quick breakdown on how we did it. Bring in your icon from your downloads that from that website I was talking about. Adjust it in your material that you make. So here's your icon that you brought in, your material that you make, and then with the constant 3 vector, attach it with the opacity mask on your alpha pin. That's how you end up with this. And then in your third person, bring in that plane, bring it just below the camera, because otherwise it's a big block, big box. Bring it in on your settings for your material, and then that way you can see your thing. And then how to change the perspective on the camera, again on your capture component. Instead of on the projecting type perspective, bring it to orthographic, and it will change the perspective, and it really fix it. And then down here, your skeletal mesh underneath that, uncheck it, and that should fix your problem. So thank you all for checking this out, and we will see you guys on the next one, and stay tuned for more videos.